Hi everyone, how are you all doing today? Actually, that's a pretty obvious question. Things aren't going well right now. Things are looking rather bleak, given what's recently been occurring in the news, specifically the overturning of R v. Wade by the Supreme Court, which, as we anticipated before, as I explained in a previous video, is going to have some pretty serious impacts against people, specifically women, not to mention the loss of their rights. And we seem to be in this phase where, the GOP and corrupt members within the Supreme Court, these conservative judges are content in taking us back to the dark ages. Because this is just the tip of the iceberg, make no mistake. I mean, what's next? Are we going to deprive the women the right to vote? Maybe take away some other rights? When you're dealing with a court system that is taking away the rights of the people, they are not supporting the people. They are not serving the people. And that's too bad because of this decision, majority of the people in America have lost faith in the Supreme Court. And understandably so. And there's plenty of blame to go around, especially what's going on with previous presidents, the comments he's made. Mike Pence said this is life one. How so? How do you figure that? Okay? Because here's what's going to happen as a result of it. Mortality rates are anticipated to go up. You're going to also see an increase in teenage pregnancy. Not to mention you're going to see an increase in poverty because in a lot of states where there are low-income, poor families who are forced to carry a new child to full term, they're not going to be able to support that child. They're not going to be able to properly educate and take care of that child. Okay? This is going to affect the lives of children down the road in the long term. They're only thinking of this short-sightedly, and let's be honest, this isn't about the children. This is about a power grab. This is about staying in power. And what an effective way to do it is to take away the rights from the American people. Leaving a select few politicians, not to grant these Supreme Court judges, that they're in their positions for life to keep staying in power. Pro-lifers all think this is a good thing, but like I said, in the long run, when we start to see these things happen, these effects happen, hopefully they'll see the light, but by then it'll be too late, okay? And believe me, it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. And as I said before, this is just the beginning. We're only getting warmed up. Clarence Thomas himself is focuses his attention also on the rights of LGBTQ, specifically gay marriage and contraceptives. Why would you want to put limitations on contraceptives if you're trying to prevent abortions from happening? Wouldn't it be logical to make that more easily and birth control readily available? That was something else I previously mentioned about prevention over inspection. And let's face it, I could go into some of these judges right now who are pretty much as morally bankrupt and corrupt and as vile as can be. I can talk about it for hours, and I can also focus on there's also blame to go around on the Democratic side. I can say it right now. I do not have faith in our current president, Joe Biden, who seems to be pretty inept at dealing with situations like this. Also don't have faith in Nancy Pelosi and other corrupt Democrats like Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema, to name a few. And again, pointing fingers isn't going to change anything. What is going to change anything is the actions on our part. And the one thing I can't stress enough, which I'll reiterate, is that the primaries are going on. It's going on today in New York for governor and lieutenant governor. Get out and vote. Keep on voting and keep up with the protests. What I mean by protests, I'll specify, is that non-violent protesting. Okay? There's been a lot of it going on as is in different states across the country, and there's also been some issues of violence going around. So I would try and say, if you're going to protest, do it in an organized way within the boundaries of the law, so you don't run into any conflicts with law enforcement. Okay? That's not going to solve the problem. That's only going to increase the divide, not to mention potentially get yourself into trouble. Call up your representatives, call up your senators, and stress certain ideas, not just by voting, but by encouraging them to get rid of the filibuster, and more importantly, expand the courts, because that's the key thing. By watering down the majority that the conservatives has, that's the key thing to weaken them, to take away their power, which they have. Okay? Ketanji Brown is fine, but it's not enough. We need more. expand it as much as you have to go to, but encourage the president to do that. I realize reaching out to the president is probably futile, but something is better than nothing. But voting is the most important thing you can do right now, and express your outrage to the politicians and the senators and the other local representatives in your community. So this is not, I understand the frustration part. I understand the sadness, and like I said, it's pretty bleak. It's going to get worse before it gets better. And even when they start seeing the negative impacts, when they start becoming more evident, it's not going to change anything with the current politicians in charge that are pushing this initiative. To say nothing about the Supreme Court. They don't care. It's about power. They don't care about you, your lives, or your family. And some of you might be thinking, well, this doesn't really affect me. Like, let's say you're a single male living on his own. Well, obviously you don't have to worry about abortion, but make no mistake, it will affect you in some shape or form. You have families, you have mothers. A lot of you out there have sisters, aunts, nieces, children, daughters, future generations, your grandchildren that you might have one day. They can be impacted by this. Okay? And some of the states aren't even allowing abortions of any kind. In fact, some of them are putting criminal penalties for anyone that even does get an abortion or tries to go to another state where abortion is legal. Okay? They're not playing games. And again, they're not really taking into factor some of the consequences. This goes beyond religion. This goes beyond anything else. It is a moral crisis. And it's up to us to step up to the plate and make the change. Because we can't count on the Supreme Court. We can't count on the leadership that we have right now. We've got to vote in new members that are going to push to make those changes and put the pressure on the senators that are in charge to make those changes. You know, even if it doesn't seem like much, something is better than nothing. So I'm asking you, not imploring you, get out and vote. Get out and make those changes, make those efforts, make those protests, make those calls. Because in the end, it is up to you. Lives are at stake, and it is up to you to do something to help prevent it. Anyway, I hope you understand, and thank you for watching.